What's good? I've got another battle here with FizzyStardust, and this time I'm using Electric with Terrakion Tech, and he's using Darkrai, Tornadus, Mewtwo. I open up Dynamo and Terrakion, and I decide to put the Terrakion down because if I just put the Dynamo down, he can very easily donk the Dynamo. Now that I think about it, I probably should have led with the Terrakion because I had the switch in hand, and I don't really want him to take out my Dynamos. Also, sorry for that. I was in the process of studying for a quiz while I was battling Fizzy. It was late at night. That also would explain a couple of the questionable plays I make during this battle because I was just totally out of it. I had to refresh because the stupid program was not cooperating. And so yeah, we finally get to it soon here, I think. Uh, my thoughts on both decks, just because I have time. Terrakion Eel. I lost to Terrakion Eel in the finals on Sunday, and I personally don't really like it, but for whatever reason, other people seem to always get the Terrakion, the fighting, the plus power, the catcher and stuff, and they run even less fighting in Terrakion than I do. So I don't really understand that. I think Terrakion is a really lucky tech because it's hard to get all the cards. But anyway, I don't want to rant about how much I hate Terrakion. Um, he goes for the Ultra Ball, discarding 2 fighting, which is exactly what the deck wants to do, is get fighting in the discard pile, start getting his EXs out. He gets a Tornadus because I'm pretty sure he's going to try and go for the blow through on that Dynamo. He's got a Rando into a June, and he's going to use the June, discarding a Shaman, which is that looks like that probably hurt him. And I don't like discarding Shamans. Shaman is so clutch late game. He gets the Sky Arrow, but does he get the DCE? He still has a portrait. He portraits in a Juniper. Once again, portraiting into Juniper is being hella reckless when he probably didn't need to. So there goes 6 cards that he probably could use. I see a Golden Catcher. Being a jerk, using the freaking Golden Catcher instead of a regular one. Okay, that's cool. He has 7 cards. They're all separated for some reason. And he's going to attach the basic Dark to the Tornadus. So he missed it. And that's amazing for me because, yeah, I would have been in a pretty bad situation if I was stuck with just a Terrakion in the active spot. I play this. No, I don't need to play this guy because he already played it. So I'm just going to oak away. The new hand is decent. I can charge this turn, but there's not really much else going on. I don't have any other supporters, no Smeargle, so I'm kind of in trouble here. But yeah, I also don't really like Thundurus. The only reason why I ran Thundurus in this deck is because I didn't run DCE. I don't like running 3 different energy types, and that means I couldn't run Tornadus as Tornadus EX as my early game attacker, so I used Thundurus. But Thundurus just kind of sucks. I mean, it's nice because if with a plus power you can one-shot the Tornadus EX, but other than that, it's just kind of weak. He's going to catch up the Dynamo, which is a pretty good play. Get rid of any or all of my acceleration, and he's going to attach another energy, so he's going to blow through this turn, and he's going to drop the Darkrai, drop the Dark Patch, and get the energy on the Darkrai, and I'm in pretty bad shape. I do have a fighting, so if he does, nah, I'm still kind of screwed. There's no way for me to accelerate the Terrakion, so I can't even retaliate. He's also going to end. I think he was afraid of the fighting energy, but honestly, that hand was pretty bad, so I wouldn't have done that. That was a huge misplay on his part. Now I've got 2 Junipers, an Eel, a Mewtwo, energy, just everything. So, I don't know why he did that. He even portraited and saw the hand. But now he's just going to blow through and take the first prize. At this point in the game, I desperately need to pull a plus power to my butt, or else I'm not going to be able to take out the Tornadus. So I'm going to drop the Dynamo down. I'm going to attach the energy, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to play the Mewtwo down because I'm not really concerned. I'm not really worried that he's going to bring out a random Mewtwo because his Shaman's gone for 1. And for 2, this deck doesn't really... I think he runs like 1 Mewtwo maybe. So I'm going to put the EV light on the Terrakion so I can't snipe it with the Darkrai. I think I just go balls to the wall here and... Or no, I don't. I already used my supporter. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. I catch up the Smeargle because I want to take a prize this turn. I don't want to sit there trying to two-shot the Tornadus. I'm just going to wait till I get a plus power because it's always going to be there. Also, by getting rid of his Smeargle, it's going to slow him down possibly. So I go for that. I take it out and take my first prize. He then promotes the Tornadus because it has free retreat. There's no reason not to, and he wants his Darkrai on the bench so he can accelerate to it with the Dark Patches. And he's got a lot of cards in hand right now. So that's pretty intimidating. He gets the Dark Patch, which is also pretty intimidating, which means he's going to be able to charge up that Darkrai this turn. And I'm pretty sure he's going to try attacking with it this turn as well. Yeah, he does that. I think he attaches, plays a Smeargle, and uses Oak. So, another Smeargle. He retreats into the Smeargle and uses Portrait. And I'm pretty sure he's going to use Oak here. He's got a 6-card hand. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to discard 6 cards. So he uses the Oak. Gets a new hand. And because he retreated, he has to have the switch. He has Super Scoop Up instead, though. And he misses that. One reason why I will not run that card. You never hit it. So now I've got a Smeargle that I can take out this turn. If I can, for whatever reason, get a plus power and catcher, though, I would definitely go for the Tornadus. But I don't have the I don't have the plus power. I have the catcher. So I think I'm just gonna take the prize on the Smeargle this turn. There's nothing really else I want to do. No other cards I want to use, so that's what I go for. I don't think I had a level ball in my discard policy. Yeah, that was fine. I would have liked to get an electric up, but that didn't happen. Oh well. So now at this point, my plan of attack is to charge up the hopefully get a plus power so I can take out the Tornadus EX for 2 prizes. And oh, that's my wall post I made at the top cut about having guests on their show, and they ended up following through with that. They had Britt Pybus last week, and tonight, if you're watching this on Thursday, they're having another show at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll put a link to their website below. And they just talk about the metagame, talk about anything and everything related to the Pokemon card game. You can send in viewer questions and answer those, and they're some of the best players in the game. Moving on back to the battle, he gets the Darkrai. I don't know what I was talking about. Oh yeah. So my plan of attack is to Terrakion his Darkrai and Thundurus his Tornadus to try and get my last 2 prizes. And I also have the backup Mewtwo just in case something goes weird. He catchers up the Dynamo, and he's going to take that out, which is pretty smart. He wants to deny me any form of acceleration because without acceleration, I'm only going to be able to attach 1 energy per turn, which means it's going to be hard for me to try and set up a Retaliate on the Terrakion while I'm manually attaching energies to my other attackers and don't have an eel out. So I'm going to catcher up the Thundurus, I think, or the Tornadus, and now I'm just going to go for it. I really need that plus power. I pull an N off that, and looking at my discard pile, that kind of sucks actually. I don't want to end myself to 4, but I think I kind of have to. No, I can Portrait, that's right. Yeah, I'd much rather Portrait than use the N. He's got 5 cards. There's a good chance he has a supporter. Hopefully it's a good one. I wouldn't even mind a Juniper here. Go back to Facebook because I really just like to multitask, I guess. And he's got a Juniper. That's great. I get the plus power and I get a Dynamo. So things are looking great for me. I end up attaching the Eviolite, I think, because that means that he would need a plus power to KO the Thundurus next turn with his Darkrai. And I'd rather, why not take that chance? I have nothing else I really want to put the Eviolite onto. And maybe the Mewtwo, but eh. So I go for the plus power Disaster Bolt play to knock out the Tornadus. And now I just need to find a way to take out that Darkrai, and the game is potentially mine. The annoying thing about this Terrakion Eel deck is even though it's kind of inconsistent in my opinion with the Terrakions and stuff, if they set up, they have an answer for every attacker in Darkrai Tornadus. They've got the Terrakion for the Darkrai, they've got the Thundurus and Zekrom for the stupid Tornadus, and they've got Mewtwo for Mewtwo. So like, you kind of just sit there like, well, what do I do? If I play this guy, he kills it. If I play this guy, he kills it. And if I play this guy, he kills it. And he takes 2 prizes for all of them. and it's just infuriating to play against this deck. I think Terrakion is an inconsistent deck, and it's only really good for Darkrai, but hey, Darkrai's most of the metagame, has been winning most tournaments, so I guess that's not definitely a bad thing. It's just whenever I play Terrakion, it just gets in the way, and I never get the fighting Terrakion when I need it. But so he Junipers, gets another Darkrai and a Mewtwo out, I think. Mewtwo DC Eviolite catches up my Mewtwo, and that kind of puts me in a rough spot. I have another Mewtwo, so if he decides to go aggro Mewtwo against me, I can try an X-Ball KO for my last two. But I think he's just got a Darkrai into it, and that's kind of bad for me, I think. Don't really know what I would do at that point. He's not gonna KO anything, so I can't retaliate the Darkrai, and I would need a plus power on top of that, which I do have. His Mewtwo is also pretty far out of my reach. I can't really KO it. I would need a DCE, another energy, or like 2 plus powers and a catcher. And this deck doesn't run DCE because I don't like running 3 different energy types, so that's pretty much impossible. I use the Junk Arm to get a switch. I just want to get my Smeargle out and hopefully portrait into something that doesn't suck. I think I dropped the other Mewtwo down because I realized at this point I'm probably going to need a Mewtwo to win this game. Or at the very least I'll have options. I'll have an extra Mewtwo, I'll have a Terrakion, and I'll have a Thundurus. And at this point, if I try to play any more Tynamos, he's probably just going to take those out. So I attach an energy and portrait, and I get an Oak, which is great. If I whiffed there, I probably would have been stuck. I get a Double Ball, immediately go for the Electric, and now that I've got Acceleration, I'm in okay shape. I think I just Thundurus the Darkrai at this point. There's nothing else I can really do. Putting damage on the Darkrai definitely isn't a bad thing, because that means next turn I can possibly take it out with a... maybe not. I guess it kind of sucks to not have Zekrom in here. I swear I ran Zekrom in here. At least one. Maybe not. That's a bad decision. Anyway. Because Zekrom's amazing against Darkrai. Being able to do 120 to it, it guarantees a 2-hit KO, even if they have Eviolite on their Darkrai. And they can't one-shot you back if you run an Eviolite on your Zekrom, so... If they don't run Terrakion, then they're gonna have problems with their Eviolated Zekroms. Anyways, moving back onto the battle, he Junk Arms for the Golden Catcher, and he's going to catcher up that Mewtwo with damage on it. He brings up his Mewtwo, but I think he realizes that he doesn't want to do that. And he's just going to attack with his Darkrai and take it out in that way. I'm not really sure what we're saying here. I think there's some confusion going on. But he catches up that Mewtwo with damage. And he uses Oak. Yeah, at this point he really just needs to take out my Mewtwo with the Darkrai, put 30 on something on the bench to set up a KO, and he puts a DCE on that Mewtwo. That Dark isn't actually on that Mewtwo. I'm pretty sure that Dark's supposed to be on this active Darkrai. Otherwise, how is he attacking? Okay, there it moves. And I keep asking him, is there a DC on that Mewtwo? I just want to make sure that there's no glitches or anything, because having a DC on that Mewtwo can win me the game. Otherwise, it's going to... If I can't pull something off this turn, I'm going to lose. Okay, many people might say, go for the Terrakion play. A Junk Arm for a plus power, and then Juniper and hope you get a fighting. But I'd much rather go for the Mewtwo play here, so I think I'm going to capture up the Mewtwo with a DCE, and then all I need to do is hit an energy, any type of energy off the Juniper, and I win the game. I'd much rather risk trying to hit any energy rather than only fighting, because like I said, I'm not really lucky with that crap. So I capture that up, I go for the not the Junk Arm, I go for the Juniper, And look, I would have gotten the fighting anyway, but it didn't matter. So now I'm going to Dynamotor and attach, and then X-Ball for the game. So that was a great game. Send me videos. The email will be below. Check out the top cut tonight, and more will be up soon. Catch you guys later.